Up over that midweek hump, and it was in the earliest days of COVID-19, the new sign-off for when you were hanging up with someone or leaving someone on a Zoom, be safe or are you okay when you greeted them, right?
Yeah.
And that, from Michael Jackson, are you okay, Annie?
Right.
Now, I've told you, why he, seriously, do you know where that song comes from?
Seriously, I do not know.
Because I worked with Rick Dees, and this is serious.
Tell me.
Michael Jackson.
You going to Deesify it for me?
Oh, you know it.
Thank you.
You want it weekly top 40 style?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. And Madonna right there. Up next to Michael Jackson, who when he was 20 years old took a CPR class, and no kidding, right here off the D. Sleaze hotline. And Michael was resuscitating a dummy called Annie. And everyone in the class, when they were doing the chest compressions, would say, Annie, are you okay?
But I understand the beat of that song is the rhythm,
yeah.
of a chest compression.
That's crazy. So Staying Alive, by the way.
Oh, from the Bee Gees.
You're supposed to sing it. I jump on top of you. Should be so lucky. I jump on top of you and I start singing, staying alive, staying alive.
And I'll be going, ooh, With my luck, you do too much heaven.
I would be so excited. I'd be like,
she'd be so excited. She'd get on top of me. I'm choking on a spare rib or something. And she'd be like, oh yeah, I know this. It's the Bee Gees. Nobody gets too much heaven. I'm like, no,
staying alive.
Wrong song, Jennifer. Other song, Jennifer. Dear God, I'm dying.
Baby, you know, should be one
other song.
And then whammo. And I'll be like, whoops, I'm sorry, officer. I just couldn't think of the right song. Oh, silly me.
I'm a blonde.
Sorry, Whitman.
Anyway, there you go. Save a life today and take the weekly Top 40 challenge coming up next.
All right.
Jeffrey Toobin, and they say, Jeffrey, what do you think of Schiff's presentation?
I thought it was dazzling.
I've seen dazzling performances. But here's what comes to mind.
I thought it was dazzling.
The Radio City Music Hall Rockettes
Yes.
doing that's dazzling.
Rockettes dazzling.
I thought it was dazzling.
Oh.
It wasn't.
And you can hear he actually believes that.
Senator Chuck Schumer, who saw the argument, and critics are raving about the Schiff show.
Powerfully, succinctly, and completely.
I thought it was dazzling.
Get your tickets now to the Schiff show at the U.S. Senate Chamber through Christmas.
The Schiff show is a limited engagement. Get your ticket now by calling the Ticketmaster box office.
Side effects of the Schiff show include fatigue, boredom, hanging oneself, etc., etc., etc.
Walk on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone.
Good morning. We have been following all morning long the walk.
Zoe Lofgren.
I cannot walk. I have neuropathy, Nancy.
How many push-ups can you or your man do? 40 push-ups have a lower risk of heart disease.
All right. Oh, he's doing it.
911's on their way.
Kill the sad music. Give me the eye of the tiger, brother.
People in our chat room are saying that you are shaking.
Well, I don't.
And he was. You were.
I don't work out. I don't. Hey, look. To all you ham and eggers listening to the show on Facebook Live or commuting to work, yeah, I'm a little out of breath. If you're laughing at me right now, pointing at the radio and laughing, when you go home, brother,
What you gonna do?
What you gonna do, brother, at 5:45 when you get home today, brother? Drop down on that floor, brother, and see if you can do it Hulkamania style.
Well, I'm looking forward to getting out there. This is going to be exciting.
I know. You've been everywhere.
It's, it's funny. I obviously working in the White House is extremely intense, but this book tour, man, I mean, I have been up earlier and staying out later than I ever did working there.
Are you saying it was easier work to stand in front of Jim Acosta and take his questioning?
I said I'm busier. I didn't say
Let's not get crazy, Whitman.
So, Sean Spicer, when people, Jennifer characterized me correctly. I am a liberal guy. I'm not somebody who voted for this president. I'm not someone who intends to vote again for him. I voted for Secretary Clinton. In fact, my whole life I voted for Republicans, by the way, but I voted for Democratic.
He'd vote for a Clinton every time.
Presidential candidates.
Every time.
All the time. I have a thing for these Clintons. You know, Sean, you'll have to psychoanalyze me. We'll do something about. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, but I'm a nice guy, and you're a nice guy, so we'll be fine.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
okay.
and I respect you.
And you know what? I got to be honest with you. And part of some of the stuff that I wanted to get out in the book was that we need to be able to have these conversations, right? We need to be able to do what you guys do every morning, which is like literally talk about the differences that we have. I think it makes us smarter people, but it's gotten to the point where it's like every attempt to have a dialogue turns into a shouting fest.
People are killing each other.
And it ought not be that way. Our guest is Sean Spicer. The book is called The Briefing. He's the former White House press secretary, first press secretary for President Trump. And what I want to do is, as an opening question, is bring you back to that first day or those first 24 hours. This is a question. I'll ask it like a question. Sean, were you directed by the president to go out there and talk about the size of the inauguration crowds? Were you told to say that it was the largest ever? Did the president require you to do that? And do you regret the tone you used? As you'll recall, when you see the tape, as you've probably seen a billion times, the tone is you have a raised voice, and it was accepted uncomfortably in many quarters, certainly by the media, I think setting the stage for this very aggressive relationship between the administration and the media. Do you have regrets about that first appearance?
So I do talk about that rather extensively in the book because you're right. And if there's one day that I would love a do-over, that's it. You're right. I mean, not, but in a variety of ways. So let's start at the top of what you asked.
Sure.
The president never directed me to say anything specific.
Governor Palin, I do certainly want to thank you so much for taking time in the morning to talk to us. Since you were introduced to America as the Republican vice presidential choice, you pretty quickly, certainly we've all been watching politics all our lives pretty intensely, you very quickly, quicker than almost anybody I can remember, became a very dominant figure in the pop culture. And you became, sometimes it was positive, sometimes it was negative in the way you were treated. You became almost a lightning rod in the world of politics. So I ask you, from the days in Wasilla there in Alaska, you get that call and you're John McCain's VP. Did you anticipate that you would be that lightning rod and things would get as controversial as quickly as they did? Did you think it would happen, or were you surprised by it? But did you anticipate becoming so dominant in the popular culture, or were you surprised by that, Governor Palin?
Oh, heck no, did I anticipate the roller coaster ride that we'd be taking in pop culture. I thought I'd just be able to get out there, put my administrative service to good use, and be able to do the job. So, no, I mean, I don't think anybody would be ready for what it was that kind of hit us there. But then looking back, and I don't usually take a whole lot of time to look back at anything, but looking back on that, if you consider the circumstances of my life at the time, I just given birth to a baby, beautiful baby who had some special needs. My son was being deployed off to a war zone. My oldest daughter, she was pregnant and unwed, teen mom. My husband was working, 1,700 miles away up in the oil.
So there was a lot going on.
So, and all that happened just within a matter of weeks. And then I got the call, and of course my response to the call was, sure, I'll run. There's nothing else going on. Yeah.
Right.
But anyway, all those things I can see now, all of that different aspects of the circumstances in life, it was all preparation. So, and thankfully I've always known to put my life in God's hands, and, we're going to get through it. So didn't anticipate all the idiosyncrasies of it all, but glad that it happened anyway.
But you're going to be our last call. You are our last phone call on WNBC.
What's her name?
What is your name?
Get her name.
What is your name? Pardon me?
My name is Caroline.
Okay, thank you, Caroline.
Bye.
Thank you. Let me just say a few final words, then we're all going to count down to the end of NBC. WNBC Radio, that is. When I first broadcast on the station, it was a realization of a lifelong dream. But I never imagined during my first moments on WNBC that the last seconds I would have on the station would be the last seconds anybody would have. It's a historic moment that belongs not just to me, but also to every broadcaster who ever graced the microphones, every worker at WNBC who made this station great, and to each listener who supported us through the years. I'm Alan Combs. Thank you. God bless you. And for the last time, this is 66 WNBC, New York. Let's do the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You heard the countdown. It's over.
I want those of you who have no problems, those of you whose life is going great, call me up and I will give you problems. You're on WMCA. Hello.
Hello, Alan.
Yeah?
Ben, I have absolutely no problems.
Yes, you do. You're a kid.
So? You were a kid, too.
You've got your whole life ahead of you. You're going to have to get out of school, get a job, compete with lots of people your age.
Yeah.
You're going to probably develop acne.
Really?
You're only 12, but you're going to probably in 2 or 3 years develop a severe complexion problem.
Alan, I thought my face is perfect.
It is now. But wait till you reach puberty. Then you're going to have to worry about girls. They're going to reject you. They're going to put you down.
Well, Alan, I'm the most handsome guy in the world. Babes are going to go for me.
It doesn't work that way, pal.
No?
No, just because you're handsome. Look at Rock Hudson.
I'm smart?
Lots of smart, handsome people. You think you're just going to have babes fall for you left and right?
Yeah.
Doesn't work like that.
Oh.
Doesn't work like that. They'll still try to screw you over.
Oh.
I'm telling you this from experience. Okay?
Okay, Alan.
You really don't have very much to look forward to.
Now I feel depressed.
You're going to have a mortgage someday?
Yes. I'll go to sleep. I'll be all depressed,
and you're going to have to probably go to orthodontic work?
No, I don't think that, Alan.
You never know.
Well,
you're going to lose your wisdom teeth. And it's going to be painful. We probably have at least 2 of them impacted.
Really?
Yep. It's going to be very painful.
Ouch.
So you think life's a bed of roses because you're 12, but just give it a few years. You're really, the best is over. Okay?
All right, Alan, you made me feel bad.
Thank you.
Okay.